Welcome to Corruption Must Go, ICPC's weekly television program. I am Ruth Awudi. 9th December every year has been set aside to observe the International Anti-Corruption Day. This day has become an annual ritual since the passage of the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, UNCAC, on 31st October 2003. The day aims to raise awareness on the ills of corruption and inspire people from all walks of life to take action against this scourge. As part of activities to commemorate this day, the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, and other sister agencies in Abuja and in some states across the country participated in awareness and sensitization walks against corruption. Take a look at this. Welcome back. Hawa Garba is standing by with updates on happenings in the Commission. Over to you, Hawa.
Welcome to this segment. I am Hawa Garba. 4 former commissioners under the defunct administration of ex-Kogi State Governor Captain Idris Ichala Wada have been arrested and are being detained by ICPC on allegations of misapplication of government funds and abuse of office. The ex-commissioners, who include the following: Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Kayode Olowo Moran; Commissioner for Transport, Abdurrahman Wiya; Commissioner for Works, Onama Godwin; and Commissioner for Budget and Planning, Ali Aju, were arrested after ICPC commenced investigations into allegations that the suspects, acting in connivance with the former governor, former Accountant General Ibrahim Idako, and the former permanent secretary in the State Ministry of Commerce, Frank Onoja, had obtained a 2 billion naira small and medium enterprises loan from the Central Bank of Nigeria on behalf of the state, which was misapplied. Preliminary investigations by the Commission also revealed that the suspect allegedly partook in the mismanagement of another 8 billion bond that was raised to fund 57 projects across the state. The large sums of monies released for the projects were allegedly far beyond the levels of work done. Furthermore, the suspects are alleged to have benefited from illegal deductions to the tune of 1.3 billion naira made from the funds of 21 local government councils of the state by the same administration. Suspects have been released on bail and will be charged to court when investigations have been completed. A retired justice of the Court of Appeal, Justice Muhammad Ladan Samia, was recently arrested by ICPC for allegedly demanding 200 million naira bribe from Mr. Nnamdi Orji in exchange for a favorable judgment in a National Assembly election case that was pending before the Imo State Judicial Division of the Court of Appeal. ICPC alleged that the offense, which violates Section 10 of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000, was committed in 2015 when the retired justice asked Mr. Orji, who was the candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, for Arochukwu Ohafia Federal Constituency, to give him 200 million naira to enable him influence the court's decision in his favor. Justice Samia was granted bail by the Commission upon the fulfillment of the bail conditions, even as investigations continues. ICPC has arraigned one Mr. Eno Ekapong Ofem before a Federal Capital Territory High Court sitting in Apo, Abuja, for allegedly impersonating a staff in the office of the Chief of Staff to the President. The defendant, who contested in the 2015 election into the House of Representatives and lost, was charged before Honorable Justice Valentine Bin Ashi by the Commission on 6 counts after a petition written to ICPC. Investigations by the Commission revealed that Mr. Ofem allegedly claimed to be a special advisor to the Chief of Staff to the President, a claim that he used to defraud many citizens to the tune of 100 million naira on the pretext that he would get them ministerial, board and other appointments. The monies had been deposited into his bank account on various dates from June 2016. The accused, who pleaded not guilty to the charges leveled against him, applied for bail through his lawyer, Mr. Edidion Onsongorua, but was denied by the court. ICPC prosecution team led by Mr. Elijah Akakoho did not oppose the application but asked for stringent conditions to be attached to the bail. In his ruling, the trial judge remanded the defendant in prison custody until 16 January 2018, when hearing in the case will commence. That's all from this segment. Corruption Must Go continue with Ruth.
Corruption not in my country.
Okay, I'll have that credited to account shortly.
Okay, thank you.
Meanwhile, can you smoothen this edge? Something is not properly done.
Okay, no problem. We'll go do it. Okay, sir. Okay.
Money don't come now. Make we go buy cement.
No, more continue.
I don't understand. We need more cement now.
Carry sand, put plenty sand, mix sand, put the cement. I don't finish.
Make Barara. Let's do this thing right.
Wait, did they give? What is Megba? See, listen. The money credited to my account is not for cement, oh. It's my own. Even you have a share in it.
Me, I don't take such share.
Okay.
I know they take.
Okay, don't take.
All this building collapse where they happen here and there. Now this kind of attitude, now in the cause when I am called to do mago, I say no to it. It is corruption, not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
They say every day is for the thief, one day for the owner of the house. But ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, has reversed the role. It is now every day for the owner of the house. If you're involved in bribery, over-invoicing, or any shady deal, the day of reckoning has come. ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, is watching you. If you're reported for any corrupt practice, you'll be investigated, prosecuted, and punished. Corruption is harmful to our nation. Join the campaign against it by reporting any corrupt practice to ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Let we join hands with ICPC, make them better.
Let's make Nigeria great again.
ICPC, they want you.
Come on, hand for corruption.
Break the chain of corruption now. Don't give, don't take. This message is brought to you by ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
If you're just tuning in, this is Corruption Must Go. According to research, every year $1 trillion is paid in bribes, while an estimated $2.6 trillion are stolen annually through corruption, a sum equivalent to more than 5% of the global GDP. In developing countries, according to the United Nations Development Programme, funds lost to corruption are estimated at 10 times the amount of official development assistance. No wonder the theme of this year's celebration is corruption, an impediment to the Sustainable Development Goals. This is therefore a call on government, the private sector, and the general public to unite against corruption and jointly tackle the issue by changing our attitudes and taking action against the problem. Speaking at the Abuja event, which was held at the Shehu Musa Yaradua Center, Vice President Yemi Osibajo noted that there has been an increase in the prosecution of corruption cases by ICPC and EFCC in the last 2 years. Let's hear from the representative of the Vice President and other dignitaries at the event.
Undoubtedly, there's been an increase in the prosecutions by EFCC and ICPC over the last 2 years. And you can see that a lot of those cases are reaching advanced stages. Some of them are stalled, and these are things that the newly created designated courts are meant to address. And we hope that with time, these cases that are stalled will move through the system very quickly. But in addition to the increase in the prosecutions by these agencies, we've also had institution-specific, sector-specific, or transaction-specific investigations. Examples: the Office of the National Security Advisor set up a committee on audit of defense equipment procurement, CADEP. And as you know, if you've been following, its proceedings, they've recovered several billions of naira, for the federal government.
The National Anti-Corruption Strategy has 5 pillars which speak to the international good practice for combating corruption as well as addressing local peculiarities. These are prevention of corruption, enforcement and sanctions, public engagement, ethical reorientation, and recovery of proceeds of corruption. All the pillars are very important, but the last pillar particularly, the recovery of proceeds of corruption, is significant for 2 reasons. It is a key policy of this government to deprive the corrupt of the benefits of their crime and ensure restitution to the citizens and the state itself. It aligns with the sub-theme and the linkage to sustainable development. And in line with this policy, the government has instituted several initiatives to recover and apply proceeds of corruption. As you all know very well, we have the whistleblower policy, which has yielded significant dividends. At the international level, Nigeria has been at the forefront of proposing resolutions on the recovery and return of stolen assets kept in foreign jurisdiction.
Well, the theme, as you read, is an impediment to the Sustainable Development Goals. The Sustainable Development Goals are quite a comprehensive series of goals, taking care of the full spectrum from economic to social development. One of the goals relates to good governance, and that includes, of course, the fight against corruption. Because in order to have proper growth, proper economic and social development, you rely on strong states and a strong management of finance and transparency.
So how do you think corruption has affected national development?
If you read again at the speech that I delivered on behalf of the Executive Director of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, it's probably not something that we see immediately, but actually corruption has very concrete impact, because whatever money is stolen because of whatever the nature of corrupt act, it's so much money that doesn't go into schools, it's so much money that doesn't go into roads or into hospitals. So not only it impoverishes people, but it also kills people, because it's people that cannot be rescued or cannot be do not have access to health, for instance. Or when you talk about embezzlement of funds for the fight against terrorism, is typically preventing saving lives.
This year's theme, that is corruption and impediment to sustainable development, with the slogan United Against Corruption, flows from the realization that the main essence of fighting corruption is to provide an enabling environment for development in a sustained manner. As long as resources, state resources or individual resources continue to flow out due to corruption, then the development will be stalled. So it is important to ensure that the resources meant for the citizens are preserved in such a way that it can lead to sustainable development. Tying the two issues, sustainable development and fighting corruption, brings the message home to the people in such a way that they know that they have to go in the process because it is about them.
Ma, how do you think all anti-corruption agencies can come together in the fight against corruption?
Yeah,
we work together.
Yes, we already have the coordinating platform, the interagency task team, but there are still many areas where we need to build consensus and work with one voice. If we realize that this fight is about our country, is about our people, and is not about individual agencies, then we are on the first step to working together. The more we work together, the louder, the greater the impact we will make.
Corruption not in my country.
Hello, Alhaji. Right now I'm in Abuja. No. Hello, Adamu. Right now I'm in Kano. Yes. When I get back, I will just call you. Look, what is wrong with you? I'm talking on the phone and you are gesticulating and doing. What's wrong with you?
Daddy, where exactly are we as we speak?
Are you alright? This is Lagos.
Well, you just lied to someone that we are in Abuja.
Keep quiet there. Who told you can tell an elderly person is lying?
Daddy, you just lied. And by lying, you are raising corrupt children for the future of Nigeria. That is corruption, not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
now.
Please turn down the volume of your music. It's too loud.
And how is that your business?
It is disturbing me. I can't sleep.
And the same way you are disturbing my right to good music and where I enjoy it. Eh? What's wrong with you? Is there another person complaining?
Maybe we thought that you have lost your mind. Are you having a party?
I'm just expecting you, sir. You remember I've paid my husband too.
You will not understand why we are complaining because you do not care about other people except yourself. Look, the transformation we need in this country begins in this compound.
Yes, now.
From you, and I. This your selfishness is an offshoot of corruption. And corruption not in my country.
Oh, you know, go to your bank. Go.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
Directly or indirectly, rich or poor, male or female, all of us are affected by corruption. But it does not have to be this way. We all have the power to fight corruption. Imagine a future where people throughout the world act together to reject corruption. Together we can and will bring about real change. This is what you can do in your daily life, place of work, in schools, hospitals, and places of worship. Indeed, to be part of this change. Do not pay bribes, do not seek bribes, do not engage in other sundry forms of corruption. Work with others to campaign against corruption. Speak out on corruption and report abuse of office by those in positions of trust and authority. As this year's theme implies, let us all unite against this impediment to our development. Consider how you can make a difference. Report corruption that you have experienced or witnessed by calling ICPC on 0800 Call ICPC. Help spread the word. That's our package on this week's edition. You can watch the program on our YouTube channel www.youtube.com/ICPC Nigeria. See you again next week. Bye.